Hello all, welcome to Embedded Linux Learning Point, a learning platform for anyone who wants to learn embedded Linux and to grow in this field. In the previous video, we've learned how to view information about files and directories. By the end of this video, you will know how to create and delete directories. Watch the entire video and you will reward yourself with one more drop of Linux knowledge and one step closer to mastering Linux. Let's learn how to create directories. For creating directories, we use mkdir command. The syntax is pretty simple. Mkdir the command and it takes the directory name as a parameter. Okay, let's create a new directory called new dir mkdir new dir. Okay, and we'll do a list. Here you can see that new directory is being created. If we do an ls minus ld, you can notice that in the directory listing, the directory records begin with the letter D. Okay, if we want to create directories and subdirectories at once, then we can add the -p option to the mkdir command. Mkdir -p and new directory 1 and then subdir 1, and under that we will create one more subdir 2. So let's say we will try to create without p and see what happens. You can see that mkdir cannot create a directory with this directory sequence. So for that, what we have to do is we have to do -p. Then you can see that ls -l. You can see that there is a new directory. Also, we know that to view the directory tree, we have to use ls -r of the new dir1. You can see that there is under the new dir we have a subdirectory. Under subdirectory 1 we have subdirectory 2. So that's the usage of mkdir with -p option, where it will create you the directories and the subdirectories inside. So the -p option on the mkdir command makes any missing parent directories as needed. Now that we have learned how to create a directory, let's move on to deleting directories. In Linux world, deleting is called removing. To remove directory in Linux, we use rmdir command. As mkdir command, rmdir command takes a directory name as an argument. Okay, so now that we have the new dir and the new dir1, let's create a new directory for the deleting purpose. So mkdir wrong. So if you see, we have a directory called wrong dir. Now let's remove this. So rmdir, so wrong dir. So you can see that the command got executed and the directory was removed. And let's create one more time the wrong dir. And inside that wrong directory, let's create a simple file. We can create the file using touch command as we saw in the previous episode or in the earlier episodes. Touch wrong dir and new file. Okay, then ls wrong dir, we can see that there is a file called new file. And let's try to remove the wrong dir rmdir, and you can see that rmdir failed to remove wrong directory. So the reason is directory not empty. So what we understand here is rmdir works only with the empty directories. So in order to remove the wrong dir, we need to first empty it. To delete the file, we need to use rm command -i wrong and the new file. With -i option, we know that it asks for us to enter whether we want to delete it or not. By deleting yes, so sorry, by providing yes, the new file got deleted. So ls wrong file, you can see that our mm, you can see that the new file was deleted, and then we can remove the directory as we did before, like rmdir wrong dir, and you see that the wrong directory was removed. Well, let's demonstrate how to remove a non-empty directories without removing each file. So it's like, let's say if we have hundreds or thousands of files in any directory, and entering, like, removing one by one would be very tiresome. So we can do that with the rm-r option. Let's demonstrate that now. So first, let's create make directory with, so we have created the test directory. Under that, we're going to create a file1, and also we'll create file2. So now let's see that the test directory has two files, file1 and file2. Okay, now that we have two files created inside the test directory, now let's remove it one by one. rm-i, I is for interactive, and r is recursively ask recursively move in the directory for each files. And it says like rm descended into directory test directory, yes, and then remove regular empty file, the file1, then also say yes, and remove regular empty file, the file2, then also we give yes, and remove the directory, the test directory, yes. And now we can see that ls, we can see that the test directory is not present. That means we removed everything uh, under test directory, and then it removed the test directory also. Now we had only two files, and it's okay, pretty simple that we can remove two files and then delete the next directory. Let's say in any file system you would have hundreds of files and things like that, or the subdirectories. So each time entering the entering like y and then deleting would be very tedious. So Linux provides some options, like with the rm command, like -rf, where recursive and force it, then everything in that directory would be deleted. So let's demonstrate that. So first create directory called test_dir, and then touch the test directory with the file1 and test_dir file2. So if you list the test directory, we would see file1 and file2 are present. Okay, I named it as a tile2. It's okay, tile1, not an issue. And let's say rm-rf test directory. Boom, now that you deleted everything. So ls, you can see that now we do not have the test directory. Everything got removed without any prompt. Like The system did not ask whether we want to remove it or not, so it just deleted everything under this directory. So one thing we need to keep in mind that this tool is very powerful and we have to use it wisely so that uh, we don't misuse it. If you delete anything uh, important for the file system or for your system, and if you delete it, your system may not be usable. So that's the reason you need to be very careful with using rm with the option -rf. Well, so with this we have learned how to create and delete directories in Linux. In the next video we will learn different ways to view file content without opening any editor. Leave comments for any feedback or discussion. Also, like and share with anyone who is interested in learning more about Linux. Thanks for watching.